Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm actually going to be doing an Etsy shop critique. This is one of the many free critiques I do every single month for free to give back to my community. So if you would like a chance to win a critique, I will leave the link right below the video where you could sign up. Now, if this is your first time visiting my YouTube channel, consider subscribing. I do upload weekly videos to help you build an impactful online business. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell. This is for everyone, so you'll be the first person notified of any new videos that I upload. In addition to that, if you're new to Etsy, you're a beginner, I have a lot of resources that you can find right below this video that will help you get started the right way. So make sure that you check them out. And let's head over to my computer to see who is today's lucky Etsy critique winner. All right, so here we are in my computer, and today's lucky Etsy critique winner is the store called JC Designs & Co. And the store owner is Jennifer. So even if you didn't win today's critique, make sure that you stick around and watch this video all the way to the end, because everything that I'm about to talk about Jennifer's store is applicable for any type of niche that you sell on. So make sure that you stick around. Now on today's critique, I'm going to be doing an audit on this listing right here. And I'm going to talk about product photography. I'm going to talk about how to get found on the search results. I'm going to talk about the title, the listing description, Etsy SEO, and much more. I break it down into sections so it's easy for everyone to follow along and take notes. And also, guys, if for whatever reason, maybe you sell similar products like she does, maybe you have some additional tips that maybe I didn't mention, make sure that you leave them in the comments below. I read them. I'm sure she reads them as well. Etsy sellers that are chosen for this critique usually read them and reply as well. So make sure you leave thoughtful comments below as well. So the first thing I want to talk about is product photography. As you know, as an Etsy seller, it's really important to take compelling photos of your products. And keep in mind, a bad photo could prevent you from making a sale no matter how amazing your product is. Always keep that in mind, because a lot of times, you might not be getting sales, but it's not because of your products. It could simply be just because of your photos. And I feel like this is an example that I wanted to talk about, because when I zoom in into her product earlier today, she has a beautiful product. She has a product that I would definitely buy if I was in the market for searching something like this. But however, it doesn't showcase as great when it's in a photo. As you can see, I could barely read what it says. And when you're, posting on Etsy, or you're selling on a platform that there's a lot of other people selling similar products, there's a lot of competition, you have to make sure that your photo is the best photo possible. Because the objective of the photo is to make someone stop from scrolling in the feed and take notice of your product. So you want people to go from this, stop, click on it, engage with your other photos, engage with your video, learn more about your product, and from there make an informed decision if they want to proceed with the buy. But as I look at this photo, it doesn't really show me what exactly it says. It's a little hard to read. I think it's because of the way the photo was taken, and possibly because of the liquid inside of it as well, and the background. So maybe Jennifer, looking at other stores that sell similar products like you and seeing how they did take a picture of this particular product that showcases the actual product, showcases the verbatim, right, the text on the product, showcases the beautiful gold color, the font and everything else. Because as of right now, it's really hard to read. And with having so much competition and so many people selling the same things that you're selling on your store, it's really hard to stand out in a saturated market and get attention, right? Or get someone to stop scrolling to click on your product and then possibly buy from you. So that would be my first suggestion, is how can you make this photo that when the person comes across it the first time, that it shows off the product, it shows off the details of it. The photo is cropped in a complimentary way. It's in the middle. Your picture is in the middle now, so you did a really good job with that. But the main picture is considered the grabber shot, right? It should be the best picture of the item. And the additional pictures should reflect like the different angles, the detail of the item, an image in use, size, scale, style scene, different variations of it, right? But just make sure that the main picture is the best one you have and it clearly shows the product. The other pictures, they look very similar to it. You did showcase it in different angles. So good job for that. This one is a little bit more of a close-up and I could see it a lot better. And then you have this here, which is the different colors that they could choose from. And you have here, enter the color vinyl of your choice, which is really good because then it's easier for people to just put it here and let you know. What I would do also is do a video, especially with this beautiful product that you have. I think a video will serve its purpose of it. In addition to that, don't forget email marketing, having a photo, asking people, hey, don't forget to join my email list. You could offer some sort of incentive, and then you could put the link in your actual listing description for people to opt in. But making sure that you're proactively asking people to join your email list because, not every single person that is going to come to your store the first time and see something, whether they found you through Etsy SEO or they found you through Google or they came through Instagram. Not every single person is going to buy the first time. So how do you capture those people that don't buy the first time so you could remarket to them at a later time? So make sure that you set that up in place, and that would definitely help you also in the long run get continuous sales all the time versus now you're just dependent on Etsy SEO and dependent on just the traffic that comes organically or if you're running paid ads. So those will be my suggestions for your photo. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is your title. And then I want to talk about your listing description and then your tags. For the title, we want to make sure that we're optimizing it with keywords because you want to make sure that your title has keywords and the same keywords are placed on your tags, or it's called title and tag relevancy. It's important for Etsy SEO that you have both tags and titles have the same tags as well. So looking at your keywords, I'm using eRank Pro. So for you guys to use eRank, if it looks a little bit different, I do have the Pro one, so just in case. And this is where I'm able to see the keywords that you're currently using. So right now you have as your main keyword, liquid therapy, quote, stemless wine glass. So this is your main keyword that you have, and then you have it separated with the additional keywords. So if this is your main keyword here, make sure that you have that keyword also in your actual tags. So you have liquid therapy SVG, but I don't see that you have liquid therapy quote stemless wine glass. I don't see it in that order. So what that shows me is that you have not optimized your Etsy SEO the right way, but you are off to a great start. Don't feel defeated. This is just to help you. And guys, if you guys need an SEO guide, right underneath this video, if you click on the text box where I have a whole bunch of resources, and one of them is a H-page Etsy SEO guide that you could download, and it has step by step how to optimize your title, your listing, your descriptions, your shop, etc. And that would definitely help you. So Jennifer, feel free to download it, or anyone that needs it. If you know already how to do it and you've been doing it, you don't need it. So you don't have to download it. But just make sure that for Etsy SEO best practices is whatever focus keyword you put in the beginning of the title, which is the keyword that you're telling Etsy, this is what I want to rank for. You have to use that also in your tags, and you have to include that also in your meta description, which is the first 155 characters of your listing description, because that snippet is shown to Google. So keep in mind that when you're creating a listing, you're optimizing it not only for Etsy SEO, but you're also optimizing it for Google, because your listings ultimately are shown both on Etsy and Google. So having all of these elements are going to help you have a higher converting listing, because now you're optimizing it the right way. So therefore you have more chances of getting found, through Etsy or Google, and more chances of getting more sales. So that's why it's important to optimize it. And everything that I'm talking about now, once you do it on this listing, Jennifer, you would do it on every other listing in your store, because it's the same thing for all of your listings. It just will be different tags because you have different products. So make sure that you fix this here, and you include your main keyword. You include a short description of what you're selling, which you did here, which is really good. And you include, I always have a call to action like learn more or grab yours today. What, call to actions are telling the prospective buyer what type of action, right, you want them to take next. But by saying grab yours today or learn more, if they click on the link when they see it on Google, because this is what they see on Google, this is the Google preview here, but you having here a call to action telling them, click to learn more, hopefully they'll click there, head over, right, to your store, engage with your pictures again, engage with your listing description, and then from there, make an informed decision if they want to buy from your store. So it does increase your click-through rate, and that's why call to actions are really important when you sell online. I think you did a really good job explaining how to clean, what comes included, what is your goal, the production time. You have links to, check out the rest of my shop. That's really good. So great job here. What I would do personally, if I were you, especially because you're trying to build, well, I don't know if you have an email list now. Maybe you do, but you don't use it on Etsy. Maybe that's what I'm assuming based on your listing. But guys, always remember, it's better to have an email list than a new follower on Instagram or Facebook. The reason why is because once you have the email list and you give them some sort of incentive to join, right? But once you have the email list, then you could say, hey, by the way, we are on Instagram. Let's connect. Or we are on Facebook, whatever platforms you use, right? Because not everyone uses Facebook and Instagram. Some people just use Instagram. Some people only have Facebook, etc. Then you could cross promote and promote that. So if I were you, Jennifer, I will remove this from here. And I will focus on building your email list. That's going to be more important, because with an email list, you could do so much more. You could do remarketing. You could find new customers that have similar traits as your customers. You could grow a solid brand. You could throw a flash sale and get, like, if you have a bad month, get a whole bunch of sales just from your email list. There's so many benefits. The list goes on and on and on. And it will help you get sales on a continuous basis when you have an email list. So I will focus more on that. And then once you have them in your email, then later on, once they're warmed up, they gotten to know you a little bit more, then cross promote and say, I would love it if you follow me here. Then do that. So that's a little bit more strategic and growing your business the right way. So that's what I would recommend. And also keep in mind that whatever tags you are using for your Etsy store, it doesn't stop on the titles and tags. You have to make sure that you're optimizing your listings for SEO. So you have to include your tags in the actual listing description, which I don't see that you're currently doing. But that's going to help you gain more visibility. And when people type in these tags on the search query, your listings will rank for those. So that's the reason why you want to make sure that you're optimizing your listing description for SEO as well. So let's look at your tags really quick, because I kind of wanted to go over them with you. And these are the tags that you're currently using right here for the listing that we're looking at. So now keep in mind that, guys, when you're selling your products, you always have to think like a shopper. What is your ideal customer searching for? So if I was your ideal customer and I was searching for a funny custom, let's say I wanted to find a wine glass, a custom wine glass. That's kind of like the route that I will go with. What I always tell my students is sit down, look at your product, right? And on a piece of paper, just come up with 10 to 15 keywords that accurately describe what you sell. Don't worry about anything else. Just come up with 10 to 15 keywords. And then you go and you do research on those keywords. You go to tools, you use Keyword Explorer, and you do research to see this number. These are the numbers that you want to look at. All of them are important, but these two are the most important because you want to have a keyword that people are actually searching for on Etsy, but you also want a keyword that you could have a potential chance of ranking for that keyword, because a lot of keywords are very oversaturated as well, meaning many people are using that keyword. So it doesn't mean that you wouldn't rank for that keyword. It just means it will be a lot harder. So just keep that in mind. I prefer to use either long tail keywords or keywords that I could potentially rank for, especially when it's a new store and maybe I don't have traction. I don't have an email list maybe that I could email and say, hey, by the way, I just have a new store now. I don't have like all this massive traffic that maybe I could start sending traffic to and competing for those higher keywords. So therefore, when it's a new store and you don't have an audience yet, it's easier, in my opinion, to go after keywords that you could potentially rank for organically. And if you go for one that's very competitive, then it's almost impossible. And always try to pick keywords that accurately describe what you sell. So this one here says funny SVG. If I was looking for your product, I wouldn't type that in because I'm not buying an SVG that I could download and use, right? I'm buying a wine glass. So when you go to Etsy and you type in that specific keyword that you're using to describe your product, you're going to find people that are selling SVGs. See, there's no wine glass here. I mean, some people might use it the wrong way, the keyword, but there's no, right? Because this is what I think of when I'm buying an SVG. Make sure that you don't use keywords that are not relevant to your product. Yes, you added an SVG to your cup, but that doesn't mean that that's what you're selling, right? I wouldn't put funny clip art on a card that I created, which is like a funny card, right? Because they're not buying the clip art, they're buying the card. So I would type in funny Mother's Day, card. That's essentially the route that I will go. Keywords like this hurt your conversion rate. If you're using just any type of keyword without really thinking like a shopper, what your shopper will look for, it hurts your conversion rate, because even if you rank for that keyword and now you're showing your product to the wrong people that are actually not even searching for that, it hurts your conversion rate because Etsy and the algorithm says, wait, so many people, this amount of people saw this listing, they're not clicking, they're not engaging, they're not buying, and it hurts something called your listing quality score. And it actually takes your listing and buries it in the search results. Now, if you use the right keywords, people start engaging, people start clicking, you get some sales right off bat. That actually helps you. Now your placement of that listing will rank higher. And then if you get a lot of sales, then you could even potentially become a bestseller. So you want to make sure that the keywords you pick here are relevant to what you're selling, because it will hurt you. The same with categories, the same with attributes. You pick the right attributes, it's like a gold mine. People find your products, they buy. If you pick the wrong attributes and you're showing it to the wrong people, your products, then it also hurts your conversion rate. So always keep that in mind. So another one is, excuse me, gift for him. Is this an actual gift for him? I feel like it's more for a woman's gift. I guess it could be for both, but it says liquid therapy. I find that more for a woman for some reason. I could be wrong, right? Let me know, guys, if I'm wrong, because I have to get in terms of, I don't drink, so maybe I don't know these terms, right? Custom drinkware. That's more, I could see that's more appropriate. Personalized glass. I could see that as well. That kind of describes what you're selling. This is the route that you want to go. But you don't want to have maybe this one, but maybe put like girls' night out accessories or something that not just girls' night, because girls' night could be just pretty much anything. So try to, if you're gonna put girls' night, which is, there's nothing wrong with it, try to find something that at the end will describe what you sell. So you have, what was it? Girls. I didn't put it plural, so let me just make sure I write it plural. Girls' night. So that keyword has 67,000 people using that keyword. So it's a competitive keyword. And there's some here, you see, like this one says girls' night. There's some personalized ones here. So you're kind of in the right track, I feel. I think I would say girls' night cups, or try to play with that and see if you find a search volume for that. Are people actually searching for stuff like that? Or girls' night glass, custom glass, something like that, and try to see, okay, are people actually searching for that? What is the competition? Versus just very generic. Try to be more specific to what you sell. And once you find those keywords, the numbers that I usually recommend, and it fluctuates for different types of niches, is that the average search volume to be at least 500 or more, but the competition to be at least 30,000 or less. I think if you stick with those numbers, those are doable numbers. Those are the numbers that I normally stick with. However, if you find one that has 300 monthly search volume or 200, you could use those. 200 is better than less than 20. These are not bringing you any traction. So something that has 200 monthly search volume with a competition of 30,000 or less is way better than something that doesn't have no traction, because that at least is showing you in front of people, prospective buyers, and hopefully somebody will click on your beautiful products and buy from you. But you would definitely need to do your keyword research again, in my recommendation. And once you do the keyword research, the tag that has the most search volume, that's the one that I would definitely tell you to use as your main keyword, as your focus keyword that you would put in your title, in your meta description, and your tag. The other keywords you add in your tag and your listing description to optimize to the right way. And the more you do, guys, Etsy SEO, the easier it gets. I think if you have the guideline of, okay, this is what I need to find keywords that accurately describe what I sell. That's the first step. And then just optimizing your listings and you are good to go. And I wouldn't change your keywords more than quarterly. It does take time. I think on Etsy it's a lot quicker, but I know on Google it does take time for them to get indexed. On Etsy, they don't really tell us in the handbook how long it takes, but I know for me, when I do new listings, I have found my listings ranking like 2-3 days later, like quick. So it doesn't really take that long. A lot of times when we don't find our listings, it's not necessarily that they didn't rank, it's just that we use keywords that were so competitive that maybe you are on page 20th instead of page 1 or 2, and that's the reason why you don't find it. So just keep that in mind. But once you optimize your listing the right way, it will definitely help you drive more traffic back to your store. Another recommendation is, when you have a minute, add a banner. Having a banner is not like a deal breaker. You know, a banner is not necessarily something that is going to help you make more sales. Etsy SEO will. Having unique products will. Expanding your digital footprint will. Having email marketing will. But one thing that you have to keep in mind is that because so many people are selling similar products like yourself, Jennifer, having a banner could separate you. It could help you with your brand image. People remember you as a brand. So because of that purpose, add a banner. Great job for having a logo. Great job for having a photo of your beautiful self here. So you're off to a really, really great start. Let me see. You have a lot of different products in your store already as it is. And you have great reviews. Complete your About Me section and your shop policies, because those count against your customer and market experience. So if you don't have those completed, it does show your store to less people. Like Etsy's algorithm won't show it to as many people. They do reduce your visibility. So just make sure that you complete those. But I think that's the critique that I have for you for today. Guys, if you have any questions about anything that I mentioned on this critique, leave it below and I will answer as soon as possible. Also, guys, if you have any tips for Jennifer, anything that I mentioned or anything that you saw in her store that maybe I didn't cover, make sure that you leave any tips for her as well. We're trying to create a community where we all come together and we help each other out. And I just want to say thanks everyone for watching this video.